now establishing your goal and building your plan. So today our focus will be understanding how we convert the vision or the, chalk it down to goal level, and then how to fit that goals into our plans. Basically, we'll have to further divide it into tactics, which are nothing but the tasks or the steps to achieve the goal. So what all steps we have to cover to achieve the goal? So that is there covered in this chapter. I'll start reading and then maybe people can, continue then. Okay, chapter 2, establishing your goals and building your plan. In order to set up your 12-week year, you will need to establish specific 12-week goals and then build a 12-week tactical plan to achieve them. Using your vision as your guide, set a specific and measurable goal or goals for the upcoming 12-week year. These goals should represent realistic progress toward your 3-year personal and business visions and your 12-month vision if you have one. And it should create a sense of excitement all on its own. If you find that you need more than one goal, keep in mind that less is more. It is important that you focus. With the 12-week year, our philosophy is this: let's be great at a few things versus mediocre at many. Too often, people end up diffused, taking on more than they can effectively execute. Once your 12-week goals are clear and focused, we move on to the second step, in which you will develop a tactical plan to achieve them. At this stage, keeping it simple is the best approach. For each goal, determine the critical few actions, tactics that you will take to achieve your goal. Write these tactics in a way that clearly describes the actions you will need to take, starting with the end in mind. Figure 2.1 is a sample 12-week plan. Refer to it as needed to help guide you as you write your 12-week plan. In this lesson, you will work to create a similar plan. There is no such thing as a perfect plan. Capture your best thinking. You can edit it later if needed as you execute your plan. 12-week goals, period goals. So this is your plan is focused on few goals, the critical areas where you would like to improve right away and to make progress toward your vision. Achieve production credit of $62,000, weigh 185 lbs by end of the 12-week year. So 12-week plan. Your tactics describe the actions you will need to take to accomplish each goal. Week plan. Goal 1. Achieve production credit of $62,000 would include key actions. Enter all prospects into contact management system. This is throughout the weeks 1 to 12. Schedule 10 appointments per week, also 1 to 12. Conduct a minimum of 8 appointments per week from week 2 onwards till 12. Schedule 4 2-hour prospective blocks each week from 1 to 12 weeks. Identify 12 centers of influence, COIs, week 1 and 2 only. Meet with 1 COI per week and ask for names week 3 onwards till 12. So if you see here 3 combination, we can see every week something is getting repeated, something is coming only in some of the weeks and some is in between from that week onwards, right? So goal 2, weigh 185 lbs by the end of the 12-week year. So what are the key actions involved in this? Run 3 times per week for a minimum of 3 miles per run weeks. Weeks from 2 to 12. Swim laps 2 times per week for a minimum of 30 minutes per swim. From week 3 onwards till 12. Find an exercise buddy that lives nearby week 1. Set exercise schedule with buddy that works for us both week 1. Limit alcohol to Friday night and Saturday, 2 drinks per night maximum. All over the 12-week period, that is from the first week to the 12th week. So this is a sample plan. Well written 12-week sample 12-week plans have two levels of structure. Level 1, the 12-week goal. This is where you want to be at the end of 12 weeks. It links to your vision and represents the progress you intend to make toward it during this 12-week period. While you may have multiple goals, just remember less is more. The more focused your plan is, the more effective you will be. Level 2, the weekly tactics. These are the hows, the actions you will take to accomplish each goal. The tactics will guide you each week and help you to act. The way you write your tactics is important because they are well written. They will greatly increase your chances of hitting your goals. In general, it helps to think of your goals as outcomes which you don't control and your tactics as actions which you do control. The way that your plan is written has a huge impact on the effectiveness of your execution. Vague or poorly written goals and tactics will hinder you. Likewise, a well constructed goal is clear and precise, thereby making implementation easier. Next are some tips for ensuring your goals are expressed for success. So, anything we want to discuss here?
So yeah, I have a query like for me, I had started like I as I wanted this week also to be among the 12 week like after we finish the book, and I just had some roughly plan, not like a proper week plan and all, but roughly some things, and I have already started in that direction. So I've started taking that initial steps in that direction. So now what I'm thinking is, will I so now like as I prepare this proper week plan and all, so should I start it from next week, or should I count this week and just already whatever done things are there, I should just add in it, like because I've not created a structure like that, like this, that's on screen types.
Yeah, same I wanted to ask because as we are reading the book, many other things also maybe there that strike us to include that
Yeah.
way.
So for me, I have been very intentional, and since I have listed down the goals, and I have become more intentional about achieving them in the next 12 weeks, which approximately, as per the calculation, came around October first week or something like the second week or first week of October. So I'm like now thinking like this was just a popping question that was going on in my mind, that now should I extend 1 week from the dates I have decided, or should I just count the actions that I've already taken or will be taking or am taking in this in the direction of those goals this week, and just add to the list later, like because I've not really prepared a structured notes or some template. I've not put it into a template as such. So just was just seeking some ideas from all of you.
See, what I would suggest is if your goals are very clear, include this 1 week. Don't let go. Okay. Once you as you progress through this book also, finalize a plan like this. Okay. Certain what I normally feel is as you progress, only some additional points get added. Say tactics get added. For me, it happens that tactics, I should do this also. I can do this also. Right? That will improve, so that's get added. That is very natural, I would say, in the process. But if you have already fixed your goals, then don't shift to the next week, right? Take this week as an experience and build on it. That is what I would recommend. Okay. If your goals are not fixed, if your goals are changing, then I would say you shift it to next week. Okay, if your goals you want to include some goal or something, then you shift to next week, because then the time bifurcation should be very clear. How much time is available to you, and then you work on whether you can fit in the additional thing or not. But if your goals are clear, at least at a structure level, you know what are the basic steps, then if you have already started, don't extend it further. But keep documenting what are the learnings. If there are any additional tactics coming up, add it, see how you can accommodate. And at the same time, once you experience this week, maybe you will have to better idea as to how a week should ideally look like in the given circumstances, right? How
Yeah,
your day is structured right now. So I
yeah.
would say,
Yes,
yeah.
I was wanting not to shift it to the next week, ideally, But
Yes,
I was only
yes.
skeptical because I had not put it in a framework or something like that. So I thought like maybe will I
That
have
will
to.
not make a difference unless and until you are not clear with steps. Okay. See, writing gives one other brilliant thing for me is many other ideas pop up. So that is the reason I would insist you always have it on paper or the way Word document kind of thing what I had put. Some rough
No,
thing
I
to
do
start.
want to do that. I do want to do that, and I
Yeah.
want to go with that process only. But I was wondering just because we are already in the middle of the week. So I was thinking, what should I do? So, but yeah, thank you. That gives a lot of perspective. And yes, now I'll just add those things that have already been taken in that direction in a week plan or whatever I just create now onwards, like maybe.
Yeah, because to tell you, if you see certain experience sharing on the YouTube also, you will find that people actually figure out after 3 or 4 rather 12-week plans, they become successful or they set their own way of looking at it. So it takes time for you to settle, right? So what I would say is use the time that you are planning also and don't shift your goals unless and until you think it doesn't make sense. If you say already 3 weeks have passed and have not progressed, then as of you can shift it next. But if your goals are clear and if your steps are clear, then I would say you just go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah.
This word is written period goals. What he wants to say by this term, period goals.
Where is it written?
In the first, this 12 weeks goal, below this 12-week goals.
I think is the 12-week call he's calling the period. I don't know, maybe. I'm just guessing. I may be wrong.
Yeah,
So
it's a
she's
draft.
asking about the title of the first
Yes.
goal. Yeah. That title is period goals. So she's asking what is period goals.
Okay, period goals. For this 12-week period, what is the goals?
Okay.
Yeah,
For
Okay.
yeah.
this
So that
12-week, what is the goal?
Okay. Got it.
See, this will change in terms of, in the sense, you take up more than 3, you can. See, if it's somebody's totally refurbishing that way, they are using, say, 3 hours or so, they can have more goals. But the thing is, they have to understand certain aspects, which they will be, suggesting as far as goals are concerned. If you take too much and it's going to be difficult, challenging for more than one, then it will hamper the progress that you will make. So always have a bit of balance also there. So can we move on to writing effective goals then?
Yes.
Okay.
are we going to do it like yesterday, like giving two minutes or something like that, or we are just going to read through?
This is a sample that they have given. If you have already goals written, you can write it, you can just see whether it is in this format. Or if you want to take few minutes, I would suggest after writing effective goals, whatever we discussed, you can, try writing. We can take 2-3 minutes to write goals and see whether they are effective or not. Right? But
Yeah.
let's, see these criteria. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Writing effective goals. To be truly effective, there are 5 criteria to apply when constructing your goals. Criteria 1, make your goals specific and measurable. For each goal, be sure to quantify and qualify what success looks like. Exactly how much money will you earn? How many pounds will you lose? The more specific you can be, the better. So it is 2 things: specific. If it is measurable, then you have to put a measurable, because quantifying and qualifying is required, right? State each goal positively. In general, it makes sense to focus on what you want to happen that is positive. For example, if your initial goal is achieve a 2% error rate, you really are not interested in errors, you are more interested in accuracy. So restate the goal as achieve 98% accuracy rate, right? So maybe losing 3 kilos instead, I would say I should weigh somewhere at 65 kgs should be my positive goal then. Okay. Criteria 3, ensure that each goal is a realistic stretch for you. If you can accomplish the goal by doing very little differently, then you probably need to stretch it more. If your goal is absolutely impossible, then back it off a little. Say, for example, I can think of last 3 months I have hit a sales of say $10,000. Then ideally in the next 3 months I should think of crossing $10,000 because I'm every month hitting that limit, right? So upcoming month when I look at the next 12-week year, then I should say make it to $12,000 or $15,000. So it has to be a bit stretched than what you think is totally possible. If your goal is absolutely impossible, then back it off a little. Criteria 4, include accountability. Take ownership of each of your goals. If you are not willing to sacrifice your comfort if necessary to reach your goal, then don't put it in your plan in the first place. This is very, very important. And later only I realized that this seems to be missing when I used to include goals and not able to meet it later, because somewhere these, things hamper my progress, right? So this is very important for us to be aware and, really take a counted or call on what goals to include. Criteria 5, be time bound. There is nothing like a deadline to get and keep things moving. Make sure to include a date by which your goal is to be reached. Because if you don't think of giving a end date, then there is no urgency, I would say, that gets created, at least for me. And then it just goes, okay, kal kar lenge, there is still time. Okay. So we will say it again. How your plan is structured and written has a huge impact on your execution. Vague or poorly written goals will hinder effective execution. Likewise, a well-constructed goal is clear and precise, thereby making implementation easier. Right below, you will find some examples of well-written goals that apply these important criteria. Example 1, lose 10 lbs and weigh 185. This goal meets all the criteria. It's specific, measurable, stated positively, realistic stretch, time bound by the end of 12-week year. And accountability is implied. You are the one who must own it. Example 2, sell $50,000 in new business this 12-week year. Again, this goal meets all the criteria. A good goal supports good execution. It is easier to determine the tactics if the goal is well written. If the goal is vague, then identifying effective tactics becomes much more difficult, if not impossible. Okay, now it's your turn. On the following page is a 12-week year game plan worksheet. Take sufficient time to develop your goals and write them on the worksheet in the spaces provided. This is a process that likely will require you to do some editing, clarification, and refinement as you go. That's why we give you a chance to write your goals down before you restate them in your draft 12-week plan. Be sure to not overload yourself and run the risk of diffusion. Remember, it is better to be great at a few things than mediocre at many things. Generally, we recommend having no more than 1 to 3 goals. So this is the worksheet. It's a game plan worksheet, 12-week year ending so and so. Put the date so that the mind acknowledges it. I will goal 1, 2, and 3 very clearly using the SMART concept, that is specific, measurable, time bound, and realistic also. Yeah. So can we just take 2 minutes and or say 5 minutes if people want? Then we can spend and just list down these goals. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So I am out. I'm actually in the middle of something, so I won't be writing. But I can wait. Like it's okay. If others are willing, I'll just play the music for all of you.
If others are not doing, we can do later on also.
Yeah, yeah. We were just four of us. So if everyone wants to do, we can do it now. Otherwise, we can just keep it for later. What do you think, Madhuselvi? Is it okay? Because
Yeah, yeah.
personally, I will not be able to do right now.
Yeah, that's why I
And
keep
I'm really
asking, because I don't know how
yeah,
we
yeah,
all
I
are
understand. That
placed.
is why I informed
Yeah.
today. Like
Yeah,
yesterday,
yeah.
I
Yeah,
was
Yeah,
there
yeah.
in the
actually, this
phone to
activity will
write.
take time also.
And
Yeah.
or
Also, what
actually,
I
you
observed
can
now
give me.
yesterday, what
Sorry.
I felt a little incomplete to write it in this hurry. I felt I would just want to go back and write it on my own, like taking time out and actually focusing and going in that flow or zone. So it
Right.
was anyway not that fulfilling for me. personally yesterday. So, so I thought a bit like it feels like you should write it in a flow, na? Like we should allow ourselves to get into the flow, and together this we cannot make it happen in this setup, right? Like we'll have to dedicate different time for it.
Right. So if you want, we can take two examples if we all have what kind of goal if you want to state, and then we can see whether apply and see the smart, how we can apply that to this thing, right? The criterias.
Great. We can have a discussion. That's a great idea. Yeah, I think that works. Yeah. So for me personally, I would say that one of my goal, or major two of my goals is one is my business goal, and one is my personal goal, which is more on weight loss and health. So both of the goals are like very similar to what is mentioned. Like I think these are the common goals, right?
Yeah.
So these two are my main goals for the 12 week. I'm planning to launch a few courses, like at least one or two, like that I'm working on right now, and monetize out of them. So maybe that is what I'm working on. So that is one of my major goal. And the other is health, obviously. So I'm planning to get involved in some activities that will help me or be more intentional and serious about everything that will help me in the weight and fitness area. Like maybe I'm planning to join swimming, and then also consult a dietitian and things like that. So maybe that will be, and I think weight is very, so I can be very specific around all of that. Like I think, as the author mentioned, right, just adding figures and numbers to this will help, is what I'm thinking. I'll just have to sit along and think through maybe.
Right. So anybody else has any ideas? What are their goals? If we can just say roughly what is the goal, and we can try to form a statement which could help us.
Yeah, I also I will work on my health. Number one. Second, actually, I have thought about three things. First is health, and second was about making my own eco-friendly products regarding health related that I have learned earlier. And third one is that I'll devote my time to my daughter more
Okay,
in
so
teaching her. Yes.
so I think you will have to be more specific there. How many hours, spending how many hours with her? What are the activities that you would like to take? No, be more
Yes.
specific.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
spending time is one, so you can maybe chalk out. So what I'm trying to say is, um, say if my goal is to read more, but then where is the specificness in that goal? Right? So I'll have to say how many books in how many weeks, or say these, maybe not specifically on the number of books, but maybe the different books type, variety of books one can read. Say under fiction, what are the no, different fiction books that one can read. So you'll have to drill it further down as to what I exactly want to read, how much within how many days, then quantify the number of books, the titles maybe, and then I'll have to see how much time minimum, then I'll have to set in a day to read it. Something that I. So we'll have to drill down each of the, now whatever we are saying as desires or wishes, right? I want to
Yes.
spend time, or I want to be better in this. I want to do something about this. We'll have to drill it down further. And then when you actually arrive at whatever you have to, you want to do as a goal, then you check with the criterias. Is it specific? Is it measurable? Is it time bound? Is it, in a positive way, or am I saying something a bit, different in the sense, see why positive? Because, that's how you have to train your mind to look positive. Error means,
True.
your focus is somewhere else, which is not so positive. So that's how we are shifting the focus there to make it positive. Then every goal needs to be a realistic stretch. So we'll have to see in reality what have you been doing so far. Say I've been reading on not even reading one book, then I cannot say suddenly 10 books in a week, right? I'll have to say at least 2 books in a week. Okay, or 1 book in a week, and then gradually increase, maybe seeing the pace. Or I can decide that, okay, I will only read 4 books. That's all. So 2 or 3 weeks I will take for one book, but I will do it thorough. That is, but if I am already reading 3 books in a week, then it doesn't make sense to actually stick to 3. Then I can extend it myself to 4 if required. Again, it depends the type of books one is reading. Accountability, yes. This actually happens with me is I will want one other additional idea into my 24 hours, but then I will not see where I can make time for that. I'll just keep on adding it and assuming that somehow magically, this will happen. So this many time I have faced this issue that you'll have to let go something you are doing right now, and then you will have to make way for that new thing. So this is a great learning for me from whatever planning or thing I've done so far. Be time bound, yes. So we have to be mindful of time. Okay. So can we continue reading then?
Yeah.
Okay. So can somebody read from barriers?
Yes, I
Yeah.
would go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. Go please.
Barriers and challenges. As you consider these goals, take few minutes to capture the top 2 or 3 things that might keep you from hitting your goals within 12 weeks. Consider both internal and external factors. Internal factors might be things like easily distracted, fears, or lack of knowledge. Examples of external factors might be competing priorities at work, vacation time scheduled, or being short staffed. My challenges for this 12-week periods are, so I think we need to list what kind of challenges which will stop us from achieving the goals, right? Okay, yeah. Given the things that might get in the way for during these 12 weeks, identify some ways that you might increase your odds by addressing these factors in your plan. For example, if you are trying a 2-week vacation, you might want to schedule your tactics not to come due at the time. Or if you are easily distracted, you might consider ways to isolate yourself from interruptions. What are the ways to overcome the challenges as you plan? That again, you have to make a list. Okay. 12-week plan tactics. First, decide which of the possible 12-week goals that you just outlined above will be included in your 12-week plan. Remember, less is more. For each 12-week goal that you decide to pursue, refine the goal to meet the criteria outlined earlier, and then restate the goal in the blank planning from starting on page 19. For each goal, the next step is to determine the minimum number of tactics needed to reach it and no more. We recommend that you mind map each goal to help you identify potential tactics to reach the goal. If you're familiar with the brainstorming technique of mind mapping, you know of its power to generate ideas. Many people tend to solve problems linearly. Step A, step B, step C, and so on. Such a linear approach can limit the number of ideas generated. With mind mapping, you avoid the limits of linear thinking and access more. Can you please scroll up? Just a moment, where it is, yeah. And access more creative thinking, which is where breakthroughs come from. If you're not familiar with mind mapping, you might download a mind mapping software program to experiment. But all you really need is a blank sheet of paper, one for each of your 12-week goals. Figure 2.2 shows a sample mind map for a goal to lose 10 pounds that you can use as a guide. Do I just need to read this map or should I go down? Okay.
You can read it just to get a feel of, what all are included. Yeah.
Okay. So first we'll go to the upper wing. The basic thing is losing 10 lbs, buy clothing or equipment, finalize exercise regimen, schedule exercise, get an exercise buddy. And the other thing, research options based upon cost and effectiveness. Cut back on alcohol consumption, diet. Identify foods that I like that match the requirements of my diet. Hire a fitness coach. research best, visit a doctor, suggested exercises, physical, suggested diets. Figure 2.2, a mind map to lose 10 pounds. In this example, there are four main ideas, that is, exercise, diet, coaching, and medical advice. Each main idea is then built out with some related ideas. Keep in mind that every mind map is different. They reflect the way that you brainstorm. Yeah, just a moment. Yeah. Don't worry if your maps are not as structured as the example. In fact, they may not have any discernible structure at all. The important thing is to capture your ideas. First, write your goal in the middle of the blank sheet of paper. In the next following example, that goal is stated as lose 10 pounds. Next, brainstorm of all the things that you could do to achieve that goal and write them down around the center goal and circle them as unique ideas. For those ideas that are related, connect with these lines. See the example. Write all of your ideas down. You will narrow them down later. Also, don't worry about writing them out as actions. Just capture the ideas. As you build out your mind map, you can expect to get stuck a couple of times. Often, your most creative and powerful ideas come after getting stuck once or twice. Be patient, and you will likely identify the tactics needed to hit your goals. Once you have brainstormed your action ideas for each of your goals, it's time to pick the most impactful one and then rewrite them to conform to the criteria for well written tactics. First, select the best ideas, the ones that will have the biggest impact on hitting your goal from your mind map. You likely won't need them all. In fact, less is more. Sounds familiar. If you can hit your goal by executing just the most powerful one of your mind mapped ideas, then stop there. If not, add the second most impactful. And if those two are all you need, then stop there. If not, keep going until you have just enough of the right tactics to hit your goal and then stop. Using the earlier example for losing 10 pounds, the following tactics were selected. Lose 10 pounds, again buying cloth equipment, finalizing exercise regimen, scheduling exercise, get an exercise buddy. Again, one more heading is research options based upon cost and effectiveness. So the options are cut back in alcohol consumption, diet. Then hire a fitness coach, research best. Identify foods that I like that match the requirements to deal. Visit the doctor, suggested exercises, physical and suggested ideas. So figure 2.3, the revised mind map to lose 10 pounds. Scroll up. Yeah. The selected ideas like exercise, schedule, get an exercise buddy, finalize exercise regimen, diet, and cut back on alcohol consumption are still not well written tactics. They will require some additional work. Now it's time to rewrite these ideas to confirm the criteria for well written tactics. Tactic criterion 1. Conform to the criteria for well written 12 weeks goal. Tactic criterion 2. Start with an action verb and written as a complete sentence. Criteria 3. Can be executed as written in the week that they are due without significant pre work. Tactic criterion 4. Specify frequency and due dates. Below are the goal and ideas selected in figure 2.3, rewritten to conform to the criteria for well written goals and tactics. 12-week goal. Weigh 185 lbs and by the end of the 12-week year. Tactic 1. Run 3 times or week for a minimum of 3 miles per run, weeks 2 to 12. Tactics 2. Swim laps 2 times or week for a minimum of 30 minutes or swim weeks 3 to 12. Tactics 3. Find an exercise buddy that lives nearby. Week 1. Set exercise schedule with buddy that works for us both. Week 1. Limit Tactics 5. Limit alcohol to Friday and Saturday nights. Two drinks or night max weeks 1 to 12. There are other ways that these there are other ways that these tactics could have been written. In some cases, mind mapped ideas can be broken into 2 or more tactics. Finalize exercise routine became swim laps and run. In some cases, ideas can collapse into fewer techniques. The important thing is to write the tactics to conform to the criteria above. Even with your best thinking, your tactics may or may not work as you intend. The best way to improve them is to execute the plan. See what happens and adjust the 12-week plan as needed. Tactics A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and due week. Week due is to the right side. For goal 1, what support or assistance might you need from others to increase your odds of success? Goal 2, again A, B, C, D, F, what kind of tactics would be used? And then what is the due date? Goal 2, what support or assistance might you need from others to increase your odds of success? Oh, it's the same repetition, but then you need to take it out. Okay. To be sure that you leverage your vision as you execute your plan, take a few minutes to capture how your current 12-week goal represents progress towards your vision. You likely won't make progress on everything in your vision in 12 weeks, but by thinking through how your 12-week goal moves you towards your long-term aspirations, it will help you to take action even in the times of you might not feel like it. Common pitfall and success tips. Just scroll down. Yeah. Don't let these 5 common pitfalls derail your achievement. Pitfall 1, not aligning with a long-term vision. It is important that your 12-week goals and your plan are aligned with and an extension of your long-term vision. When you set your goals, be certain that they are connected to your vision. Determine where you need to be at the end of the 12 weeks to be on pace with your vision. Pitfall 2, not staying focused. Focus is critical. If you establish too many goals, you end up with too many priorities and too many tactics to effectively execute. Everything cannot be a priority. You will need to say no to some things in order to be great at the things that matter the most. It takes courage to limit your focus to a few key areas. Remember, each 12 weeks is a new year. Imagine if every 12 weeks you identified 1 or 2 key areas and went after those with passion and focus. Then at the end of that 12-week period, you identified 1 or 2 new areas to focus on. The 12-week year is designed to help you focus on a few weak areas and make significant progress in a short period of time. Pitfall 3, not making the tough choices. For each goal, it's not uncommon to identify 8, 10, or more tactics you could take to move the ball down the field. In most cases, implementing every tactic. Oh, just a moment. I'm just getting a. Oh, wait a second. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Pitfall 3. I think I. Okay, pitfall 3. For each goal, it's not uncommon to identify 8, 10, or more tactics you could take on, move the ball down the field. In most cases, implementing every tactic you can think of is not necessary and, in fact, can be a hindrance. Although it's helpful to brainstorm all the tactics you can think of, that doesn't mean you have to implement all of them. Too many tactics can spread you too thin and leave you feeling overwhelmed. On the flip side, though, there is no right number of tactics. As with your goals, less is more. If you can accomplish the goals with your tactics, with 4 tactics, then you don't need 5. Brainstorm all the tactics you can and then select the critical few. Tip 1, keep it simple. The task of planning can become very complex. In some companies, entire departments exist for the sole purpose of drafting strategic plans. For the purposes of the 12-week year, keep it simple. If you feel like it's getting too complicated, it probably is. Focus on a few areas and the actions you can take to hit your goals. Make it meaningful. What you build your plan around must be the most important items, or the plan will have little traction for you in the implementation phase. Too often, people build their plan around the goals that someone else thinks are important. Although executing your plan is not complex, it is not necessarily easy either. If your plan is not meaningful to you, then you will struggle to execute it. Be certain that you focus on the areas that matter the most. Yeah, chapter 3. Is anyone interested to read?
We'll stop here for the day. Anyway, so we
Yeah.
can discuss if anybody has any points in whatever we have discussed so far. Anything, any query, any suggestion, any additions?
Mm,
Everybody clear on the tactics? At least this is clear.
yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah, I just felt today that before we get into all of this, as you mentioned about this, right? Like your plan has to be meaningful to you and all of that. I feel the vision part is very important, that we are very clear with that. The first part, that we maybe started with or before that. So I think that is very, very crucial. That will define the drive we have towards all of that. And I like that part where he shared that don't try to make it too complex, because if you're thinking it is becoming complex, probably it is. So yeah, I could relate with that. So, and I also love this mind mapping idea. So there is a way of how you do it, and we normally use it in the creative and this things also, design sessions also. But and yeah, it is very, very powerful. There are books on mind map also, dedicated books, so that help us teach. Like Tony Buzan, who was the father of mind map, who originated it, has a lot of other books which I have read, 2, 3 of them, and they're very powerful, very short reads, powerful reads, and very useful. So maybe we can take that up someday, or maybe we can just share with each other what how it works and all. But I think that's a powerful process. In fact,
But
not just mind map. I feel that all the activities or design, like all these creative exercises, right? Tools or whatever that helps us, like with post-it notes and all, brainstorming using these props actually help us brainstorm very differently, because that gets the creative mind on, and it just shuts down the rational mind. Otherwise, many a times we are stopped because of the rational mind, is what I understand. So just thought of this.
yeah, I think it is mentioned also. It talks about linear versus different way of looking at it, more of a creative way. What Mansi was sharing. What else can be done by what else way is what one can question. What other way is there to approach this, and then we can figure it out. Generally, we don't think that way. We think more on a linear. For this, what all is needed, and that's how we go. But what is crucial here, basically, deliberating more on as to what we are achieving and trying to figure out what is important to achieve that. Yeah. So barriers and challenges were covered here, and we have to basically be aware as to what challenges might come up. Say, for example, some days the servant will not turn up, or some days we will have some emergency at least once a week. So certain things we'll have to create either a buffer, or we'll have to accommodate that. Okay, one day we may not be able to achieve that. So certain other things like maybe we need certain other support also. Say in the current setup, you will not be able to fulfill. So then the current setup has to be changed to the extent that we accommodate this goal. So all these deliberations we'll have to do before we pick the goal is what is said. And the challenges, if you can overcome, then you find ways to overcome it, and then you place it in the plan, basically. Now, tactics you have already gone through that. It's basically the step A, step B, step C. That's where the mind map concept is introduced, so that you have a very different view as to how things flow down a specific path if you choose that path. Say exercise, then what are the components of exercise that you have to consider? Say you visit to a doctor, what all things have to be considered there? And if you say go for a diet, then what are the things around the diet? So we need to understand there are five paths, and in that 5 path, what all is involved. And among all this, what is key to achieve? So that's what they have further drilled down, that what is key to achieve the goal. Out of these various options, various choices, what is currently feasible? What are the first steps you can take? Then build on further. Then what are the things that actually is very key? Like one exercise has to be there, one diet control can be there, and one other additional point can be there. So these like cut back on alcohol and consumption, which might be a challenge for that person. So this has to be personalized to your requirement. This has to be personalized to your way of doing work today. So it has to be closer to reality as well, that what can be feasibly done right now or in the upcoming weeks as well. So we clearly take out the key tactics only, and then you also phrase the tactics properly in the way that it has to be well written. Confirm the criteria of a well written goal first of all. Start with the action verb, then return in a written format. It helps, and specify the frequency and due date so that it is not lost. Is it every day that you commit to do it, or how often, right? I think they have given a great breakup of weight reduction goal. If we have, I think each one of us are mindful of weight and nowadays, and so this is a good summary, so we can pick that up. Right now, main thing, if you see, goals have to be written, tactics is written. Now, what does it says? For goal 1, what support or assistant mind you need from others to increase your odds of success? So this also makes us mindful that some things will be dependent on others. So if that other is not sufficiently supporting, then our success is somewhere hampered. So what steps we have to take before implementing this goal? We have to be clear. We have to decide as to what is the success rate then possible based on the support that we get. Otherwise, we'll have to agree, that this might be a hindrance. We will have to take a calculated and a proper call before we actually acknowledge. So for each goal, we have to write this, right? And then how the current week goals will, how your current week goals represent progress toward your vision. So basically, I think this is more of a lead that will be there, lead actions. Okay, long-term aspiration, I'm sorry. This is more to, from a mapping it, this will lead how to the annual and finally to the vision or the long-term aspirations that you have. It will help to take action even in times you might not feel. So this is basically just revisiting and relinking the vision that you have, so that you don't have to question every time. You don't have to build the motivation every time. The why is obvious and the why is very clear in your mind why you have to do that, right? So not aligning with your long-term vision is a pitfall. Then comes not staying focused. Yes, if you are picking up crucial. See, this happened with me when I picked too many tactics under one goal. So what happens is you have say 5 tactics, and then you can fulfill 4, but the 5th one is not getting fulfilled. So you get discouraged. right? So see how much is it relevant for the goal, or stick to what you can possibly do. So this was a learning where somewhere, taking too much on the plate and then things not happening hampers the progress on points where things are actually moving. So this was one experience. Not making the tough choices. Yes. So this was also again a hard lesson to learn. We have to say no to a lot of things, save some personal work, some commitments which are not actually helping, or some time. This somewhere, I had to do because I tend to read a lot, but then not everything lands up into actually an understanding. So I had to take choices that whether this really adds somewhere, otherwise I will not invest time. So yes, tough choices we'll have to make. And yeah, keeping it simple really works. I otherwise I had very beautiful plans. It is like 100% pakka, very good plans, but only on paper. When you go to implement it, you have to have simple. You have to be realistic and practical also, and make it meaningful. Yes, this again, you have to be a bit fun, be a bit, self-motivating also. Sometimes I make it more meaningful for my son. Say, if we target, okay, doing these things, we'll do this month, then we'll have some kind of a small celebration just to boost us up. So this is something more to create that, it is meaningful to us. And this might not be what is intended here, but just certain things that, it helps for us to build uh, maybe the environment around more helpful and meaningful to us, and see how actually it adds meaning to what we are trying to achieve. Yeah. So anybody else would like to share similarly what are their experience on this point, or any comments on, how we want to take this forward on a personal front? Anyone?
So, Manisalvi, I would like to have a little elaborative understanding about tactics. Look, how do we decide on that, and how do we plan on that? Have you tried it? Because you mentioned you did in some places. So, if you can just elaborate on that with an example or something, that will help. Because I want to really understand what should come in this. I'm a little not so clear on this.
Do you remember the first, I had shown an example, right, of my plan? Do you remember from that?
Yeah, little I remember.
Okay, now just from this tactics that we are saying, right? You saw the map, right? Now in this map, what is shown is basically there are 4 ways in which this can be approached, right? Visit to a doctor, get suggested exercises, physical suggested diets. So these are sub to the main step of doctor, right? So you understand this, right?
Yes, this I got
Yeah.
completely.
So basically what tactics has to be is which will take you nearer to the goal by that step faster, right? So the person chose not to go hire a fitness coach or visit a doctor, focus on the diet, cut back on alcohol consumption, exercise, schedule that, finalize the exercise regime, and get a exercise buddy. Right? So for him, this will get faster, and these are the key things that if he does, he gets a buddy, he will stick to the schedule, and he can have a kind of an accountability build into the system, that he will be able to achieve the goal. Right? So
Yeah.
he has
So,
selected this step. Yeah.
can I just just share something? Like,
Yeah.
it's just let me know if this is correct or not.
Hmm.
So, for my understanding, mind map will give you it will give you all the ideas that are possible,
Right.
and the tactics where you are more selective about what's possible for you in the process. So you select it more strategically as such. Is that how it is? I'm just.
Actually, the first step would be strategically, in the sense what will quickly take you to the goal that you are looking for. That is first step.
So
But
you're
if that's,
selecting from the mind map only, and
yes,
then refining it further, right?
yes. And then if you say, right now I can't hire a fitness coach for whatever reason, let me first try it on my own. Then what your options will be: exercise and diet.
Okay, so that becomes a tactic.
Yeah. See, basically,
Got it.
all these are tactics, but what becomes a tactics is basically what among this you choose to approach your goal. That becomes the tactics on the plan. All these are tactics only. These are the various steps you can take. But these are possible tactics. But which of them do you want to actually take up based on your scenario? So, first is strategic. If I exercise and I diet, that is the key for me, go ahead. Right now, if my concern is constraint is I can't hire a coach, I can't don't want to visit a doctor, I want to do it on my own, then this will be the priority. Otherwise, that will be the priority. No, I will want to do formal process. I'll go to the first the doctor. Then he will what he suggests I will do. Then the coach. I will do whatever. Then accordingly you'll have to structure. So
Yeah,
same
I
as you
can.
said, it will give all possibilities as far as what all you can do to achieve. But then that has to again broken down into how fast I can get to the goal. Leave the small things which might just be in the list but not add too much to your achieving that goal. So you'll have to reduce those, and practically also, as I told you have to align. Say hiring fitness coach is not possible now, then move to the other tactics, because then this tactics is not working for you, right? Yeah, I hope I have answered. Yeah, Pranav, yeah, tell. Yep, Pranav, you saying something?
Yeah, actually, I think, as I said, I'm in the process of goal achieving also. So I worked out a lot recently, maybe from past 3 months, I guess. For me, losing 4 kgs of weight is a big deal for me because I don't have the body fat. Muscle fat is not that easy to, get it burnt. So I tried many tactics, as you said, then finalize. Now though, in my mind, there are only 3 tactics that will make me to progress this weight loss at a very faster pace. That is just 45 minutes walk in the morning. Then I started practicing one meal a day, wherein in that one meal also I'm supposed to take 80% of salads and then 20% of rice or whatever which I like. And then these days my trainer is available right at 4 or 4:30 itself. So the moment I finish having my tea, I'll just run to the gym, and at least I'll work out for 45 to 50 minutes. And these days I just got addicted to these 3 points in such a way that even if the trainer is not available, I'll straight away push myself to get into the gym and then do for about an hour or so. So, and here the key point is, a trainer has just guided me that if you wanted to go for decrease the baseline or the hip area or the waist, it's mandatory that you have to do cycling for half an hour. So that will not put force on your knees, and your joints health would also increase. And that's a low intensity exercise, but then it would allow your legs to get toned up, and you'll get calf strength also in a better way. So these 3 points, that is 45 minutes walk in the morning, one meal a day, and getting and hitting the gym. These 3 points, after filtering so much, I have drawn to these things. And many of the times people would say that, I tried all the options, Maniselvi, like without trainer. I had salads, it didn't work out, because if you wanted to work on a core area of your body, you need guidance from the trainer at least for 1 or 2 months. So you should be prepared to sacrifice your time, your money on one basic goal, and you should make sure that it follows a particular rhythm. Because if the trainer is there and if you don't have salads, it doesn't work out. If you have salads and the trainer is not there, it doesn't work out. And 45 minutes a day, it should be worked. Otherwise your baseline wouldn't get, the base the base body will not get into the work. So it's like, after churning so much, after trying so many options, these 3 options I've got. And now I have sticked it so well that even today it was raining, I just took some time. At 9 o'clock I went for a walk taking an umbrella, because I know that these three are the major things to reach my goal. If any one ingredient is missed, it doesn't work out. So it's something like that. So
Right.
as he said, the mind mapping and all, I tried all the options. Now I came to a standpoint, and I'm just warning my own mind that these three are the secrets. Don't try to get deviated, nor don't try to get replaced with something else. It just doesn't works out. So with that, I'm sticking. So yeah, it worked out.
So
As you said, I
Pranavi,
need
you are
to.
making a strong point, which is even my experience, that you will
Yes.
have to buy your experience, find out which works, which doesn't work at times,
Yeah.
and most of the time, like when it comes to health or your diet or your exercise or your weight, it's
Mhm.
more of your personal way of or your personal body, right? Not
Yes.
specifically a regime which works for you may work for me. So yes, that kind of a thing happens, and
Yeah.
that's why I keep saying that goals, visions, and all this keep evolving, so we'll have to keep updating that and allow the flexibility to make changes which can help you actually to get to the goal faster. Yeah.
Yeah, and the other thing is my trainer is so disciplined that he wants my weight to be seeing on the weighing scale. I said I'm not bothered about my weight. You just guide me whatever is needed for the core working parts. I have three things in my mind. I'll make sure that I would execute it. I'm least bothered that is the weight increased or decreased, or neither. I'll not ask you why I have increased or decreased. So you have to. I mean, though he's a trainer, you are not supposed to listen to him. Also, if your gut feeling says that only these things are to be followed, never get diluted with those points.
Right.
And this all happens with the brainstorming itself.
Yeah, and
What I
experience
understand,
also. Yeah.
yeah, thank you for sharing that. That was a great share, Pranavi,
Yeah,
and
thank
in fact,
you.
very very helpful. So what I understand is, like from your share, that we also have to be very mindful about our goals. Maybe some goals are in a very starting phase where you still need to experiment about things. So
Right.
you have to plan accordingly, and some goals might be where you have already been through the
Evolve.
journey and we have worked upon it, without this process already, and then you have to go from there. Like you have to also understand and maybe map where you are, like in terms of your goal also. So and then take it from there rather than starting it from scratch. All goal need not be started from scratch. They had to be started from the point of your awareness and your learning and experience so far. So
Right.
thank you, that was a great share.
And actually, if you see, if you remember the first example that I had taken on the, my goals that I had shared. So if you see, if you have a new habit to build, okay, so then you will have to give a minimum start point to that. Because if you are too much like this habit should be like, I should start at a higher level, then it becomes difficult. You'll have to start, as you said, from where you are. You have to understand the point that you are in and where what practically can be reached within the 12 week that you are saying. So that understanding you will have to build in, because especially habit creating a new habit, it will have take some time and effort, and there will be stumbling blocks which will come up. So sometimes 2 weeks you can show consistency, third week it falls down, then you have to pull yourself back, see where the problem was. Is there a system issue that is in the tactics itself, or is it something which is rare, once in a while something happen, it's okay, move on. So you'll have to keep on looking at how the system is working, how the tactics is actually working for you, and have a balanced kind of goals. If everything you take up new as a new challenge, then it might be difficult for you to focus on all three with the same effort. Do the effort balancing also. Maybe something which you are just trying to build consistency, you've already built it, just want some consistency on. Something you want to start on from the scratch, and something already you're doing, you have to do at a higher level. Something like that, you'll have to balance the goals so that you can work on all this, all of them. Yeah. So if there are no more shares, can we call it a day?
Yeah, thank you, thank you. I'm just
Okay.
sorry, I just forgot to share the notes yesterday of discussion, but I have it shared with you, so I'll just reshare them today, like on the group. And today's also I'll take and share.
Yeah. Okay. So bye then.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Yes, thank you. Bye-bye.
Are you taking the notes too, Maniselvi? Have you tried?
Yeah. I got
Yeah.
one. I
Okay,
got
okay.
one. I'm not getting for the participants. It's showing an error. It's
No, I
analyzing.
got for that.
Okay. I'm just trying another prompt.
I do it on the go, right? Like when we are doing. So it
Okay.
helps. So yesterday I sent it to you and then I got busy with another call. And then
Okay.
after that I thought I'll do it and it never happened.
Okay.
So it's actually better to like put this 5 extra minutes and do it then and there sometime many a times.
Yeah. Actually,
I got for the participants, so I'll share, don't worry.
I didn't get it because I was not getting it name wise. It was just coming something random. So
So what I do, it comes that way only by default. So what I do is I add the name, like I add in the prompt now. Share by individual members is what I add normally. Normally that
Okay.
helps. So if I just ask a summary of the discussion and shares, it always gives the random summary, like the general summary. But you have to specifically mention that add by the names if you want them, like if you want it by them, by everyone's name. Otherwise, the good, like the this summary also is good. Like I'm just telling you.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Actually, first it showed error, and it was analyzing, then it stopped.
Yeah, got it. No, maybe the prompt might help, like changing it a little. So
Ah,
I'm just asking you, what do I do? Do I share yesterday's discussion or let it go now?
no, leave it. Leave it.
Because otherwise it will create confusion also, no? That's what I'm worried.
Yes. That was what I was
You keep
wanting to
it,
say
you
because,
keep it with you, like it is there in the sent message.
yeah.
So you keep it so that when if we decide to create a PPT or something out of this one, we can use that one.
Actually, you
Then.
shared one. You shared the summary of the day. That is whatever the book read was there. The second one
No,
you
I
didn't
think
share. The
no, I
personal.
shared both with you, na?
No.
Twice I
With
shared
me, you
one.
shared both, but in the group, you shared one.
Yeah. Group I shared one,
Ah,
and
so
the
it is
second one
okay
I.
if you don't share participants, I'm saying. Even if,
So now I'm not sharing the other
no.
yesterday's one. I'm
No.
only
Yes.
sharing today's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Fine. Okay then.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
You're not taking any notes now. I'll close the room now. It's okay, right?
Yes. Done.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay. Yeah. Bye bye.